every time I share this story, so there's a story behind my story. You know the story I tell about that's breaking my leg playing college football, and it's all real, but there's a story behind that. When I was 8 years old, I was introduced to my first pornography video. And for those of you who are here for the first time to this event today, welcome. And what was happening unconsciously, and I didn't know it, is as I was watching this porn video, I was doing an unconscious comparison of my 9-year-old body in comparison to this porn star who's designed to do what he's doing. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like he designed. But you know, me, I'm comparing my 9-year-old body unconsciously, not even knowing it. So, you know, go through life, 13, 14, hormones kick in, things change, and I start to get attracted to girls. And 16, we start to get, you know, a little bit more flirtatious, and clothes start coming off, and everything's fine. Everything seems to be working fine until clothes start coming off. And when clothes started coming off, this anxiety would fill my body. And as you know, in order to get an erection, you need blood flowing to important areas. And not your extremities. Well, one extremity, you know what I mean. And so what happened was, every time I attempted to have sex, my dick didn't work, to just be flat out honest with you. And I thought there was something wrong with me. And that was like the first piece of the shovel that dug a hole in me. And so I would ask my friends, I'd say, hey, do you have any issues like, you know, getting, no, man, no, what are you talking about? And I was like, oh, shit, something's wrong with me. What's wrong with me? And this judgment just dug deeper and deeper. We went into college. I found somebody who, his dad was a pharmacist, and got my hands on some Viagra. And so in college, I was using Viagra to try to stay hard. But still, it wouldn't stay hard. Not all the time. And so I was like, well, because it's not the drugs. I mean, maybe I'll try Cialis. Cialis worked a little better. 36 hours, right? And, but still, you know, I knew it wasn't the drug because it was inconsistent. And as I moved into my career after college, one of the reps that I was managing at the time, we just had this amazing connection, this real deep soul connection, and I fell in love with her. And we were friends for a good 4 or 5 months, and then just the passion and connection just intensified, and we got to the point where we were going to have sex. And the first time that we tried, it didn't work. And this was the first woman, first girl that I ever opened up my heart to fully. And I was so down on myself, man. I was so down on myself, I remember. And this is where it dug really deep. 3 days later, I go to a club in Denver that we frequented, and I see her there with one of my friends, like grinding hardcore. She doesn't know I'm there, and I watch them leave together. And so I went home that night, and I had some tequila, and I had some weed, and I just smoked as much weed as I could, and I took as many tequila shots as I could, hoping that the next morning that I wouldn't wake up. I did not want to live with that pain, but I woke up the next morning, and I had this massive headache, as you can imagine. But I felt so broken, and that's the moment when I said, whoa. Why the fuck am I here on the planet? Like, what's my purpose? Because I wanted to be done. And that's when I found Tony Robbins' book, Unlimited Power. And I began to read this information about how our behaviors, our physiology, our emotional patterns are all connected to thinking patterns, and how our thinking patterns are connected to belief systems, and how those belief systems run the show. And it just opened up my mind in a whole new way. And I got ferocious about self-education. Started learning NLP, because a lot of Tony Robbins' work is based in NLP, because he learned from the two dudes who originated it. So he learned from the core. And so I remember taking NLP certification and going in, and one day I remember using a tool that I learned in my NLP certification. I went inside, and I said, gosh, what is that? Because there was this anxiety flooding my body. Because I was looking for the belief that was creating the thought patterns, that was creating the emotional anxiety, that was creating the fight or flight response when I was supposed to be relaxed and hard. And then, what is that belief? It was right there, and all of a sudden it surfaced. Inadequate. You're sexually inadequate. But underneath that was something even deeper. You're not worth loving. That was the core, and I finally got there. And then I went and had a massage. Not that kind of massage. And it just relaxed my body in this way. The timing of it, I had the massage already scheduled, and then I came home and I just over-poured everything that was, all that frustration, that self-hatred that was inside of me. For 10 minutes, I just tears. And I felt so free after that. And I started to realize the power of mastering your mind and mastering your unconscious. I thought, man, if something that deep that plagued me for so long, I could find and begin to unplug it and take the resistance out of it, man, what else can I do? So that became the seed. That self-hatred, that wanting to commit suicide became the seed for me that created the desire to help other people. And so as I moved forward, I continued to do the work, and over the course of time, everything started working just fine. And what I realized that my mind was attracted to the porn stars. But my body was attracted to a very different body type in many cases. So I made that journey and I got into my body, and it made the biggest difference. Biggest difference. And so as I move forward in life, I see now this is why I do the work that I do. When I look at it, it was all divinely guided. I was supposed to have those early experiences with porn so it can dig, so I can go down there and figure out what seed was planted that's killing me. And then fucking unroot it so I can go out and make a difference with what I've discovered. So that's why I do what I do. And thank you. And what happens is when you share your secrets, you're free. How free would you be if you didn't have any secrets? Take that in for a second. How free would you be if you didn't have any secrets? So this session is a nice combination of letting go of what's one last thing this weekend that we can let go of and start moving into a place of how do I learn about my purpose story? How do I master my purpose story so that I can take it online and launch myself into the world? So I can take it and get my gifts and my abilities out into the world so I can help more people. That's why you overcome. So you become more so you can give more. I learned that from Tony Robbins. Should you ever give him a high five and say, that's hardcore.
So hard.
And so I just want to say thank you for holding the space for me to share that story. The first time I shared it, I was at a spiritual networking event called BHS. And they have these 2-minute promotion tables that you can buy for $25. I had an idea that, hey, instead of promoting one of my products, why don't I tell people that I had erectile dysfunction most of my life? And I said, okay, I'll do that. So I got up to the table and my body started shaking. I was like, oh, shit, what is this? And I grabbed the mic, and I started telling the story, and I started welling up a little bit. But after it, I was like, whoa, I feel more free. And then I just kept sharing it without judgment, without worrying about what they were going to say. I just kept sharing it. And the more I shared it, the more I got free from it. How many of you would like to have that kind of freedom? If you have no secrets, you're free. So what secrets might you be holding inside that are destroying the quality of your life, that are destroying your progress, your happiness, your joy, and everything else that you want? What's the one secret that you can share today that will help you get more free from it?